Attention all! London has caught the baking bug.
The Office for National Statistics announced the number of independent bakeries has increased by 5% in the last 3 years.
Join me on my baking journey where I visit the independent bakeries that are making their mark, find out what a cronut is, and discover why bakeries are reinventing baking traditions like afternoon tea. I've come to a little treasure in Clapham called the Old Post Office Bakery to find out the secrets behind their loaves and cakes and speak to the owner. So come on, let's go in.
Okay, my name's Richard and I'm one of the joint owners of the Old Post Office Bakery, and we are a small community-based organic artisan bakery. Bakery was actually founded about 30 years ago, and it was founded by a guy called Carl who came over from Germany, and at that point in London or even in England it was really difficult to get what you might call real or wholesome or nutritious or proper bread, and he was used to that because he lived in Germany, he was from Germany, and that was part of their culture. So he started to make his own bread over here. He started to make rye breads and wholemeal breads and breads that really were quite difficult to get hold of in London at that time, because the bread culture in England had become dominated by the sort of sliced white factory bread. So he started to make bread on a small scale and to sell it just to fund his studies in London, and then he realised that actually there was a gap in the market, and that if he set a bakery up, then people would come and buy what he was making. We hand make everything on the premises, so the whole range of breads we make, we hand make them, plus all the pastries, plus all the cakes. Our best selling bread is either the traditional 3-seed bread that we make, which is made with wholemeal flour and 3 different types of seeds, which is one of the first loaves that we ever made. Or in more recent times, the sourdoughs have become very popular because people really like sourdough bread now, and we do one called a Californian sourdough, which is mainly white with a little bit of rye bread in it, and people like that. I think the most important thing about our bakery is that we try not to be overpriced. We don't believe in the sort of elitist idea that artisan food has to be really, really expensive. I think that's a bit of a con actually, and that's not the way that we like to operate. And we also like to be a bakery which is very much grounded and centred in the community. So we have a lot of, over the years we've had different youth from the area coming in doing apprentices here, and we have adults with learning difficulties come in, and so we're very open to sort of community involvement as well. In the 70s, when I was a small boy, there was a baker's strike, and so you couldn't get bread for about a month, and my dad took up making bread at home, and so some of my earliest memories are actually standing in the kitchen and making bread with him. In the last, I would say, 10 or 12 years, there's been an explosion of small artisan independent bakeries, and I think what it is it's partly a rekindling of interest in bakeries and in bread, but it's also generally the culture of Britain has become much more attuned to food, to good food, to nutritious food. So you get farmers markets and you get small microbreweries, and you get people setting up all sorts of small food businesses, like even people growing chilies or what have you. It's become trendy, if you like.
It was wonderful speaking to Richard and finding out how they make all their lovely baked goods. But my baking journey does not end here. The next stop, the Rinkoff Bakery, to try their unconventional baked creation. Cronuts are a hit amongst foodies and have been trademarked by the Dominique Aisel Bakery. which is coming to London this summer. But if you can't wait till then, there are many interpretations in London. The one that I have decided to come to is the Rinkoff's Bakery, founded in 1911, and who claim to be the first bakery in the UK to start selling the cronut, which they have named Crodos. I spoke to the owners to see why Crodos have become so successful.
My name's Ray Rinkoff. I've been in the business since I was 15, which is just coming up to 50 years now. I started in the bakery. I run the bakery with my two brothers, my daughter and my nephew. I think there's a big market for Crodos. We've been doing them over 2 years now, and it's not a fad, it's here to stay. It's a very good product, and we're making more and more each week.
My name's Jennifer Rinkoff and I work at Rinkoff Bakery. I think the baking culture in Britain has risen in recent years, mainly because I think people are moving away from supermarkets and people like to sort of support the local bakery or butcher or fishmonger, and I think maybe the Great British Bake Off has kind of made baking a bit cool and trending over the last few years. We still sell our traditional cakes, like Danish pastries or hairy cheesecakes, which people still come in for. But then obviously the Crodos and like the layer cakes are very popular as well, and I think people like to sort of try new things all the time, so we have to keep like reinventing ourselves, it seems.
Named one of the tastiest treats by Cosmopolitan, the Crodo is deep fried, filled and layered. It truly incorporates the best of a croissant and a donut and is the perfect treat to have in the afternoon. Afternoon tea is a part of British culture and was first introduced by Anna, the 7th Duchess of Bedford in 1840 as a way to fill the gap between lunch and dinner. It wasn't long before the Duchess started inviting her friends to the room at Werborne Abbey, and soon afternoon tea became a social event for the upper class women. Nowadays, afternoon tea has remained a staple within British culture. The BB Bakery has found a new and innovative take on the British tradition, introducing the afternoon tea bus, boat and picnic, which is what I'm currently enjoying. I spoke to an employee at the BB Bakery to find out why there is a market for a new take on the British tradition.
The BB Bakery was brought to London in 2010. It started with a tea room situated in Covent Garden, but we wanted to stand out and do something that hadn't been done before, so we put a spin on high tea with our 5 entities. The afternoon tea tour, where you can take in the London sights while enjoying afternoon tea. The afternoon tea picnic, which is elegantly packaged and fits perfectly in the pannier of bike, and you can enjoy your afternoon tea al fresco. The vintage yacht, which sails down the Thames and is perfect for taking in London sights. The bakery, which brings authentic French baking to London and is the perfect sanitary away from the hustle-bustle of the streets of London, where you can enjoy an array of cakes as well as the afternoon tea. Something we newly created is our afternoon tea delivery service, where we deliver the afternoon tea to the comfort of your front door. And what we do is create something new, unique and exciting. At the same time, we aim to provide our customers with enchanting memories that will last forever. I would say in the future the BB Bakery will expand and find even more ways to bring the afternoon tea experience to our customers.
Baking is an art that continues to evolve through the popularity of shows like the Great British Bake Off and businesses reinventing baking traditions.
The future of baking is unpredictable, but as Chef Julia Charles said, the more you know, the more you can create. There's no end to creativity in the kitchen.